Then again, what it will do, your server is telling the browser through this write-ahead method that I'm going to send you an HTML page. Then the server sends in the HTML page through this write method, but it does not close the communication line because it's the response.end is no longer relevant. So to close that communication line, we need to use this. But because we are actually increasing the file size, this will actually increase the file size if you're writing the script for a bigger application. So it's better to keep your script as concise as possible by eliminating the extra codes. We can do the same thing with our end method. So the end method will end the communication line along with sending in the page for us. So it's killing two birds with one stone. That's what the folks say here in my country. So the reason why I was talking about the flexibility of a node is because you can even provide HTML element or tag inside your page, just like this. Paragraph. And now if you wish to see this entire message in bolded form or in strong form, which is the strong element from HTML, you will actually see the entire message, all the words, as bold letters or as bold words. So let's save this. Let's terminate the server and commit the changes again. Or we just need to rerun the server. Then let's head back to the browser. Let's refresh the page. Let's get back to the element inspector, and then you see that our strong tags and the paragraph tags are being shown on this element inspector. So this is the actual page that the visitor will see. But this is what goes on behind the scene. This won't be shown by the this won't actually be shown by the browser, but as a developer you should have access to this element inspector. But we also have further flexibility when we are talking about this server. So how do we do that? Let's actually print out a list, an unordered list of fruits. Let's call this fruits. Now, let's say we have got fruits. Then we're going to say an ordered list, or maybe we just can't do this here. Okay. Now let's go for list, close list tag, opening list tag, and close list tag. Then we can write apple. Then again, we can include some maybe oranges or orange. Then again, maybe we can add something like pineapples. So if you're living in a hot country like me, then obviously you'll have access to these pineapples during the summers. I mean, the summers are really hot in here. It can actually reach up to 40 degrees Celsius, or the usual average temperature is reaching up to 37. So yeah, the fruits are pretty amazing and tasty. I mean, yeah, they're very, very tasty sometimes, but the fact is that people are dishonest these days. Nonetheless, let's have a look at our code. Okay, let's save this. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to reference this fruits variable, and we're going to call that fruits variable through our end method. Let's save this. Let's get back to the terminal. Let's rerun the server, And we can get back to the Firefox. Now you should look both. You should actually look at the the element inspector along with the page. But you should first look at the element inspector. Let me refresh this. Now you see something pretty amazing. Our node has actually sent in a full-fledged list that's contained inside its own unordered list, and we have actually got what we wanted. So Node is pretty flexible. You can do as many things as you want. You can even send in a whole HTML file through your Node server, and we are going to look at that. The next example that we're going to look at is how we can create a JSON file, and we will input some data, some fictitious data into that JSON file, and we're going to show that fictitious data formatted through an HTML page, that we will be creating, and those will all happen by our node server that we have created. So this was all for this part. This is a small example. The next example is about it will be a little more complex, so let's have a look.